Hi kids, good evening. So welcome back with Math Marathon. So last week we started with the 2020 paper 1 and we did the first 12 questions. So today we are going to complete the balance 13 questions of the same paper. So to start off with, for the fellows who missed the session last week, okay. So this is where we started. We analyzed the paper. That means we have discussed on which sections the main questions are coming from. And we have done and completed up to the 12th question for the moment. Okay, by last week, we have completed up to here. So today we have to start with questions related to triangle geometry. Trigonometry is working also under that. And we have one with progression, geometric progression, triangle geometry, measurements, binomial expressions, circle geometry, graphs, probability, circle geometry, measurements, matrices, and construction. So these are the main sections that we are going to discuss today. So I'll take it out. So I'll hit the question without wasting your time. We'll go for the 13th question. Okay. So here, in a parallelogram, in the parallelogram ABCD, AB is 12 centimeters. AB is 12 centimeters. This is 12. So this is 12. And the area of the triangle BCD. BCD is this. And that shaded region is how much? 48. I need to find the length of AP. AP is the perpendicular height. Okay. So we'll start our session. So here, theory number 1. The first thing they say is parallelogram. So whenever we come across the word parallelogram, there is something we need to know as the basics. There are 5 things that are very essential when you see the term parallelogram. So the 5 things should come into your mind at first. Okay. The first thing, when you have a parallelogram, what they say is the opposite sides are equal in length. In a parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal in length. That is the first one. The second one, whenever they say ABCD is a parallelogram, you need to understand the opposite angles. The opposite angles are equal. Opposite sides are equal and the opposite angles are equal. The third one, the diagonals bisect each other. That means the diagonal bisects the other diagonal equally. That means this side is equals to this and this is equal to this. First one, the opposite sides are equal. The second one, opposite angles are equal. The third one, diagonals bisect each other. The fourth one is the diagonal bisects the area. That means this area, the area of the region in blue lines, is equal to the area of the region in these red dots. The first one is the opposite sides are equal. The second one is the opposite angles are equal. The third one, the diagonal bisects diagonal bisects each other. The fourth one is diagonal bisects the area. That means this piece of triangle is equals to the other piece of triangle. Those are the fourth. And there is a foremost important thing. I'll draw it a little bigger because that is very important when you're answering the part 2 questions. In most of the part 2 questions, normally they ask you to prove ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay? To prove a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means any polygon with 4 sides is a quadrilateral. To prove a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, you don't have to go through all this. Opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equal, diagonal bisects each other, diagonal bisects the area. No. There is one condition where if you check the past paper questions, more than 85 to 90% of the questions are asking for this theory. That means if you know this theory, you can get the final answer easily. That is, if you can prove one pair of opposite sides, I'm taking this and this, or you can take this and this also. If you can prove one pair of opposite sides are parallel, if you can prove one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, this is a parallelogram. You don't have to prove all the 4. No. There are 2 pairs. You don't have to do it for all. If you can prove only one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, you can say it's a parallelogram. As I told you, more than 85 to 90% of the past paper questions are asking for this theory. Clear? It's nothing other than they are not asking for opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equal, diagonal bisects each other, diagonal bisects the area. No. If you can prove one pair of the opposite sides are parallel and equal, then it's a parallelogram. So you should always check whether you can prove the same pair of opposite sides can be proved as parallel and equal. That's it. Clear? So then you can prove ABCD is a parallelogram. So this is for part 2. Okay. Apart from this, theory number 2 that we require. This is something you already know, but I will recall your memory. When I take a triangle, we'll say with the base B, and the perpendicular height to be h. How do you find the area? Area equals half into base into perpendicular height. Clear? The area of a triangle with the base B and height h is half into base into the perpendicular height. This is theory number 2. The third theory when you have a parallelogram. With base B and perpendicular height h. How do you find the area? Area is, sorry, I'll erase this and start it off properly. With base B and perpendicular height h. So how do you find the area? Area equals base into perpendicular height. So this is how you find the area of a triangle and area of a parallelogram. Triangle is half into base into height, perpendicular height. Parallelogram is base into perpendicular height. This is how you find the areas. Now we'll go for the question. Okay. So the question is, in the parallelogram ABCD, AB is 12. I'll mark it again. Now what did we say? Okay. Even before you mark any of these, okay, when they say ABCD is a parallelogram, what do you know? The opposite sides are equal in length. You should know it. The angles, opposite angles are equal. Diagonal bisects each other. Diagonal bisects the area. That you should know. Okay. So if this is 12, that means what? DC is also 12 centimeters. Clear? And they say this region is what? This is 48 centimeters squared. And what did we learn? The diagonal bisects the area of a parallelogram. If this is 48, then this is also what? 48 centimeters squared. That means the area ABCD, area of the parallelogram, ABCD is how much? 48 plus 48, 96 centimeters squared. Clear? We need to find AP. What is this length AP? That is the perpendicular height of the parallelogram. And I also taught you how to find the area of a parallelogram. Base into, I hope you can see it, perpendicular height equals to the area. Base I know, 12. Perpendicular height is h equals 96. Cut 8. Answer is perpendicular height h or AP is 8 centimeters. Clear? It's very simple. First, you need to know this is equal to this. Why? ABCD is a parallelogram. Opposite sides are equal. If this is 12, This region is 48 centimeters squared, and we know the diagonal bisects the area. This is the diagonal we have. If this is 48, this is also 48. So the total area is 96. But we also know the area of a parallelogram is base into perpendicular height. Base is 12, perpendicular height is AP. I have marked as H. So H is 8 centimeters. That's it. Okay, that is done. Next question. 14th question. The next one. Okay. AB is a vertical post located on a level ground, and PQ are 2 points. PQ are 2 points on the level ground, as shown in the figure. The top B of the post AB, when observed from Q, is seen with an angle of elevation of 70 degrees. When observed from B, the point B is seen with the angle of depression as 50 degrees. Represent this information in the figure. Okay. So whenever, now we'll say, I'm looking at something. Okay. Where do I have my eyes? My eyes are here. Okay. So when I'm standing straight, this is my eye level. Okay. So if I mark it here with this is my eye level. That means whatever I see it through this. That means whatever I see, my eye is here. I see it here. Clear? If I want to look up, from here only my eyesight increases. That means from here, there is an angle. When I want to look at the ceiling, at this level, from here, I need to look up. This is called, from the eye level, the angle I'm looking up is the angle of elevation. From the eye level, not from the feet. My eyesight is not at the feet. My eyesight is here. From here, how much I'm looking up is the angle of elevation. And from my eye, how much I'm looking down is the angle of depression. So this is the angle of elevation. From my eye level, how much I'm looking down is the angle of depression. So from here, it starts 0, 1, 2, 10, 20, 30, 60. From here only, it starts. You don't go from here to here. No. From your eye level, you come down. From your eye level, you go up. That's what happens. Clear? If you go up, angle of elevation. If you look down, it's angle of depression. So this is the basic theory of this. So we'll see how to answer the question they have given. Two points on the level ground as shown in the figure. The top B of the post AB when observed from Q. From Q, you are looking at B, the angle of elevation is 70. B from Q. So looking at B, from Q, it should be a straight line. I'm sorry. You're looking at B from Q. That means that 70 degrees is from here to here. At this case, we assume that your eye is here. I'm looking at it like this. I'm looking at Q like this, and I have to look at B. That means from this level, I need to look up. Clear? So my eyesight is here. The line PQA is my eye level. That is 0. From there only, I look up at B from Q. So angle of elevation is this. The next one. When observed from B, the point of P is seen with an angle of depression of 50 degrees. That means from B, I'm looking at P. For this, what happens? My eye is here. My eye is here. From here, I'm looking down. From B, I'm looking down. That means this is the eye level. From the eye level, I look down 50 degrees. Clear? When you are looking at from Q, your eye was here. So this is your eye level. Here, eye level. But when you go to the top, when you are at B, your eye level is this. This is the eye level. And your eye is here. From there, you look down. Here, from Q, you look up. So 50 degrees should be marked on this side. 70 degrees should be marked like this. Clear? I hope the answer is clear. If you have any doubts, please drop in the chat box. We will answer. 15th question. Find the third term of a geometric progression with the first term 6 and the second term minus 12. Okay. For this, I need the whiteboard. We have started progression in grade 10 and 11 both. So I hope the kids are aware of how the progression works. Progression is what? In other terms, this is number patterns. This is an advanced version of number patterns. Progression is of two types. One is arithmetic progression. The next one is the geometric progression. Arithmetic progression is what? When you have a number pattern, 2 plus 4 is 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. Likewise, this goes on. Half plus half is 1. 1 plus half is 3 over 2. 3 over 2 plus half is 2. Plus 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 minus 3 is minus 2. So what did happen here? In all these cases, we had an addition or a subtraction. Whenever we have a number pattern, okay, where the consecutive terms are being added or subtracted, it comes under arithmetic progression. Addition or subtraction, it comes under arithmetic progression. The next one, 2 multiplied by 2, 4. 4 multiplied by 2, 8. 8 multiplied by 2, 16. Multiplied by 2, 32. 5 multiplied by 5, 25. Multiplied by 5, 125. Multiplied by 5, 625. Multiplication. 100 divided by 10, 10. 10 divided by 10, 1. 1 divided by 10, 0.1. 0.1 divided by 10, 0.01. What did happen here? When a number pattern is connected with a multiplication or a division, we call it a geometric progression. Arithmetic is addition or subtraction. Geometric is multiplication or division. division. So the next thing is, okay, out of this, the arithmetic is what we study in grade 10. Geometric is what we study in grade 11. But both are very simple, small sections. Okay, both are very simple, small section. But the special case is arithmetic gives you a question in part 2B, which gives you 5 marks out of 100 in your paper out of 100. The geometric progression that you study in grade 11 will give you one question, which is 1 marks out of 100. So this entire section has a total of 6 marks out of 100 in your paper progression. But the specialty is what you studied in grade 10 carries the highest number of marks. Normally, if you take the past paper, this is the first question in part 2B. That means the 7th question. Normally, okay, it can change. I'm not saying it will be like that. It has been like that. That's it. So here, the next one. So what do we have in this progression? What do we have to do in this progression? That is the next question I know. Most of you all might be having. It's very simple, kids. Okay. We have 4 main equations. One is to find the nth term of arithmetic progression, to find the summation of n number of terms of a arithmetic progression, to find the nth term of the geometric progression, to find the summation of n number of terms of the geometric progression. That's all we have. For this, we need to know few annotations, or means few symbols. The first term of arithmetic progression is denoted as A. And the difference between the consecutive terms is known as the common difference. And that is denoted as simple D. Here, the first term is still notated as A. This is a difference. Here it's connected with what? Multiplications and divisions. So we can't call it a difference. We call it a common ratio, which is denoted as simple R. This is common difference in arithmetic progression. Geometric progression is common ratio. So depending on those, we have 4 equations. To find the nth term, this is A plus n minus 1 D. That is the equation to find the nth term of an arithmetic progression. To find the summation of n number of terms, n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1 d. Second equation. For geometric progression, a r n minus 1. To find the summation, a r in 1 minus r. Clear? So I hope, so this is the entire short notes of geometric progression. And sorry, I made a small mistake. Give me a second. 1 minus r to the power n divided by 1 minus r. Okay. So this is the entire short notes of progression. For how many marks? For 6 marks out of 100. Clear? This comprises the entire short notes. There's nothing other than this for you to study here. This is all you got. Clear? Okay. So we'll go for the question now. And the other thing, please keep in mind, geometric progression which you study has been up to now in part 1. Arithmetic progression, what you study in grade 10, is there in the part 2. So you have ample time to prepare yourself to tackle these 5 marks easily. You have 19 minutes. If you take the 10 minutes to read, you have 19 minutes per question. Okay? You don't need 19 minutes for this question. You will finish this in 3 to 4 minutes, maximum 5. That's simple. So there are questions where you can save time and you can apply more time into triangle geometry, circle geometry, graph, construction, scale diagram questions. Clear? So try to save as much as time as possible because you have only 4. And up to now, for the of the past records, we know these 2 are the only thing you need to know for the part 2 question, part 2 paper, and these 2 are for the part 1 paper. We don't know. They will give it as a combined one because in 2016 and 2017 it has been combined. But 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 has been like this: geometric in part 1, arithmetic in part 2. Clear? So now we'll go for the question. So the question says, the third term of a geometric progression. So how do we know? How do you find the term of a geometric progression? Tn equals ar to the power n minus 1. This is the one. Okay. So they are talking about the third term. T3. The third term of a geometric progression with the first term 6 and the second term minus 12. Find the third term. Okay. 6 r to the power 3 minus 1. Six r squared. This is what I need to find the value of the third term. So what do I miss here? I don't know the value of r. To find that only, they gave this. So T2, 6 into r to the power 2 minus 1. But I know T2 is, second term is minus 12. 6r. R equals minus 12 divided by 6. Common ratio is minus 2. I will bring that here now. 6 into minus 2 to the power 2. 6 into plus 4. The third term is 24. So they have given the second term for us to find the common ratio. When we find the common ratio, I will quickly bring that and to apply it here. That is that simple. Clear? Whenever you are doing a question, kids, even now or in the exam, always write the basic equation. Because sometimes even if you had made mistakes in the substitution or even when you are doing the question, we don't know if the paper marking person is a kind-hearted person, he might give half marks for the equation. We don't know, okay? So try to write everything. So even when you're practicing now, if you write it again and again, eventually you don't have to memorize it. Why? You remember it because you have written it more than 50 to 60 times. Okay. So write it again and again and again. You will have a muscle memory, and eventually, even when you keep the pen, it will eventually write it. You don't have to think and write. Clear? Keep that in mind. Okay. We'll go for the next one. 16th question. Q is the midpoint of side AC of the triangle ABC shown in the figure. AOP equals QCB equals 90. Okay, marked. Name the angle equal to APQ. APQ, okay. So for this, we need a few theories. Yes. The first one we need to know here is the midpoint theorem. I will take a triangle A, B, C. Let P be the midpoint of AB, Q be the midpoint of AC. That means this is equal to this, and this is equal to this. In that case, when I connect P and Q together, what they say is, if ABC is a triangle, P is the midpoint of AB, Q is the midpoint of AC, then if these three conditions are fulfilled, then what they say is PQ is parallel to BC, PQ is parallel to BC, and PQ is half the length of BC. When ABC is a triangle, if P is the midpoint of AB, Q is the midpoint of AC. When I connect P and Q together, PQ will be parallel to BC, and PQ length will be half the length of BC. This is the midpoint theorem. Very simple. P should be the midpoint, Q should be the midpoint. When you connect both together, PQ is parallel to BC. It's very simple. Don't complicate it. It's simple than you think. Okay. If that's the case, we have a converse theorem for it. I told you last week also converse means the opposite theorem for this. We call it the converse midpoint theorem. That means the opposite. So we have a triangle. A, B, C. What they tell is P is the midpoint of AB. They tell that P is the midpoint of AB. And there is a line that is drawn from P parallel to BC. I will take the line and draw a line which is parallel to BC like this. Parallel. Let that line meet at Q. This is the data. ABC is a parallelogram. Sorry, ABC is a triangle. P is the midpoint of AB. And PQ is parallel to BC. This is the data. Here, this was the answer. Here, this is the data. If all these are fulfilled, then Q divides AC. So I'll write the theorems, the data. So what they say is, ABC is a triangle. P is the midpoint. Of AB. ABC is a triangle. P is the midpoint of AB. PQ is parallel to BC. All these are data. Then AQ equals QC, or the line bisects the line AC. Clear? Good? Okay, so that is one. The next theory. When we have a line and another line, I don't know whether they are parallel or not. There are two lines. Okay. When we have two lines, when a third line passes through it, we call it a transversal. Okay. There are two lines. There are two lines. And a third line passes through it. We call the third line the transversal. If that passes through like this, the angle here and the angle here are known as corresponding angles. These two angles are known as corresponding angles. Okay. Corresponding angles are in the shape of a F. It can be a F like this. It can be a F like this. It can be something like this. It can be something like this. We are considering the angles under their two arms. We normally call it the armpits. These are the two angles or pair of corresponding angles in a corresponding angle. Clear? Other than this angle and this angle are also what? Pair of corresponding angles. This and this is also a pair of corresponding angles. This and this is also a pair of corresponding angles. All the colored angles are corresponding angles. And if and only if they say these two lines are parallel, then what happens? The corresponding angles are equal. Even when the lines are not parallel, we call them corresponding angles. If and only if the lines are parallel, the corresponding angles are equal. Clear? It doesn't have to be parallel lines to be corresponding angles. No. If the angles are like in the shape of a F under the armpits, we call them corresponding angles. Only and only if the lines are parallel, the corresponding angles are equal. Keep that in mind. That is something you should keep in your mind. Clear? Even without their parallel lines, they are pair of corresponding angles, but they are not equal. When they are parallel, the corresponding angles are equal. Keep that in mind. Okay? So here, this is the first one. I'll keep it on top. The next one. I have a line. I have another line. A third line passes through it. We call it what? We call it a, what do you call it? We call it a transversal. Okay? In this, the angle here and the angle here, what do you call it? We call them alternate angles. Alternate angles are in the form of a Z. It can be in any shape like this. Here also, these two are pair of alternate angles. These two are a pair of alternate angles. These two are a pair of alternate angles. These two are a pair of alternate angles. These are the pair of alternate angles. Clear? Apart from these, this, sorry. Okay. This and this are also a pair of alternate angles. This and this are also a pair of alternate angles. This and this are also a pair of alternate angles. At the meantime, if and only if the two lines are parallel, the alternate angles are what? Equal. Even when they are not parallel, they are called alternate angles. If and only if they are parallel, the alternate angles are what? Equal. Even if they are not parallel, they are called alternate angles, but they are not equal. When they are parallel, the lines are parallel, the alternate angles are equal. That is the second one. I can't make it much smaller. I'll go for the next page. Sorry. The third one. We have two lines. A third line passes through the two lines. We call it a transversal. Okay. Here, this angle and this angle, both are known as what? Alternate angles. Sorry, my bad. Allied angles. These are in the shape of a C. Any shape that you like. Here also the two angles we are considering is here and here, here and here, here and here, here and here. Clear? Apart from this and this are also alternate angles. Sorry, my bad. I don't know why I'm keeping saying alternate angles, allied angles. I'm sorry. Okay. So here also the same. If and only if the two lines are parallel, then what happens? Allied angles are not equal. What happens? What do we say? The allied angles are supplementary. That means if this is x and if this is y, x plus y equals 180. If and only if the two lines are parallel, the allied angles are supplementary. Keep that in mind. Okay? If and only if the allied angles, the lines are parallel, the allied angles are supplementary. That means x plus y equals 180. These both, the addition here is 180. The addition here is 180. If they are parallel. Even if they are not parallel, we call it allied angles. But they are not supplementary. Here, when they are parallel, the allied angles are supplementary. Okay. The next question, some of the kids have, okay, the theory kids might know. Complementary means 90 degrees. Supplementary means 180 degrees. Now, how do you remember this? In the exam, if they say angle ABC and BCD are supplementary. Now you worry now. Whether supplementary is 180 or 90 or complementary is 180, you don't know, you forgot. Trigonometry under stress condition, we all go through. Sometimes we forget what is B and D. Simple B and simple D during the exam condition. Clear? That is very normal. Under stress, people don't handle it properly. So we have to find a better way. So this is the way I remember it still. In the alphabetical order, C, letter C comes before S. A, B, C, C is before D, E, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. S is last, almost at the latter part. C is in front. Therefore, C is small, S is big. That means C is 90 degrees, S is 180 degrees. That is how I remember still. A, B, C, C is the third. S is almost at the latter, almost at the 20s. Okay. So C is 90 degrees. C is small, that's why that's 90 degrees. S is big, so that's why it's 180 degrees. Certain bigger things, okay, you need to remember it's very simple. In a childish way. That way you will never forget. This is the way I forgot when I did my O-levels and A-levels. Clear? But I know it's very childish, but still it works well. At the end of the day, I remember what is complementary and supplementary. Clear? You also, if you can remember it in a better way. Okay, you all are smarter kids than us. So you all should be able to remember it in a better way. So bigger things, vast things, sometimes it ends up as a very little tiny thing. You can remember it very easily. Okay. Now we'll go for the question. Q is the midpoint of the side AC. It is marked. And these two angles are equal. What did we say? What is this like? This is like what? This is an inclined F. This is like an inclined F. You can't see it properly, no? I'm sorry. It is like an inclined F. So what? If the two lines are parallel, the angles are equal. If the angles are equal, then what? The two lines are parallel. the converse of the corresponding angles. If the two lines are parallel, the angles are equal. If the two angles are equal, the lines are what? Parallel. The converse, the opposite. Okay. So here, this side is equal to this side, and these two are parallel. What can you say? According to the converse midpoint theorem, this and this are equal because P is the midpoint of AB. The first theory that you use, the converse corresponding angle theorem. When the lines are parallel, the angles are equal. That is what you studied. Now the angles are equal, therefore the lines are parallel. That is what we proved. The next one, the converse midpoint theorem. Q is the midpoint, and these two are parallel. That means it bisects the third side. P is the midpoint. Those two are equal. Name an angle equal to APQ. Angle equal to APQ. But if these two are parallel, then that is equal to this. What do you see? You have a F here, corresponding. So angle equal to APQ is what? AB, ABC. What is the reason? Corresponding angle. If PQ is 4 centimeters, PQ, find the length of BC. But we know when we prove it under the midpoint theorem, PQ equals half the length of BC. Now I know PQ is 4, half into BC. Therefore, BC is equals to what? 8 centimeters. Clear? So I hope everyone is clear. The first one we used is the converse corresponding angle theorem to identify these two lines are parallel. After we identified those two are parallel, I can prove under the converse midpoint theorem, these two sides are equal. Done. Okay. Oh, I know. I don't have to tell that also, man, because this is not getting used anywhere. So we are asking an equal angle for this. Parallel, it's like a F. So therefore, it's equal to this. Then PQ is 4. What is BC? Half the length of BC is PQ. That is 8. This is 4. If that is 10, this is 5. That is 12. This is 6. That's it. Keep it simple. The next one. Okay. So here, a right prism with a right triangular cross section is shown in the figure A. Select and underline the figure which is not the shape of the face of a prism. Prism means what? You have seen, it's like a box of, it's a chocolate box of Toblerone. That's it. You don't have a figure with an angle like this. All these are rectangles. Here you have a rectangle. Here you have a rectangle. Here you have a rectangle. 3 rectangles combined together. That is a prism. So the answer is the second one. This face is not there. See how easy are those? You have almost 2 minutes per question. Now, do you think you need 2 minutes for this? No. So there are questions where you can save a lot of time. Try to handle it smarter and save as much as time as you can. The next one. One factor of the expression 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 is x plus 1. Find the other factor. That means They are asking you to what? Factorize. So I think I need the whiteboard here. 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. So what we have is okay. This is what I have to factorize. Okay. The first step, I need to convert this to ax squared plus bx plus c format. Ax squared plus bx plus c format. Clear? I need to identify what is a, b, and c. What is the value of a? Plus 2. What is the value of b? Plus 3. What is the value of c? Plus 1. So I'm converting my equation to ax squared plus bx plus c to identify what is a, b, and c. After I identified it, what do I do is, I will multiply a and c together. A is plus 2, c is plus 1. The answer is plus 2. Clear? A and c multiplied together is plus 2. If I get a plus here, that means I need to add 2 factors of 3 to get the value of b. If I get a minus here, I need to subtract 2 factors to get the value of b. So now you will understand it better when I do the next step. So now what we do is the factors of 2. What are the factors of 2? 1 into 2 and 2 into 1. No point writing the same 1 into 2. What did I say? I need to add the 2 factors of 2. I will add it and see. 1 plus 2. The answer is 3. Do I need 3 here? Yes, the value of b is what? 3. So when I added, the factorization is coming. So what is the question we got? 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. 2x squared plus, instead of 3x, what do we write? Instead of 3x, 1 and 2. That means x plus 2x. That is how you get the 3x. Plus 1. Instead of 3x, you write x plus 2x. That is how you get the 3x. So here, we couple it. These two together and these two together. The common between these two is x. 2x plus 1. The common between these two is 1. 2x plus 1. So what are the factors? 2x plus 1, x plus 1. These are the 2 factors, 2x plus 1 and x plus 1. So we'll go for the question now. So what have they said in the question? 2x plus 3x, 2x squared plus 3x plus 1, x plus 1 is a factor. So what is the other factor? 2x plus 1. That is the other factor. This is the answer. That means definitely now we have to what? Factorize and find it. Question number 19. A circle with center O is shown in the figure. A circle with center O is shown in the figure. Find the magnitudes of the angles according to the given information. ABC and ADC. So they want us to find ABC, that is this, and ADC, that is this. Okay. For this, we need to know a theory that we study in grade 10. This is coming under angles in a circle, in circle geometry. When we have a circle with center O, okay, with center O, we have a circle. This is a radii. This is a radii. Okay. What they do is they divide the circle into two sectors. Major sector, the bigger one, smaller is the minor sector. Minor and the major sector. What do I do is I will extend this line to the opposite sector. Okay. What they say is angle subtended at the center is twice the angle subtended at the circumference. Angle subtended at the center is twice the angle subtended at the circumference. If this is 200, this is 100. This is 150, this is 75. If this is 300, this is 150. The angle subtended at the center is twice the angle subtended at the circumference. Okay, keep that in mind. So according to this, now most of y'all in the exam, in the book, in the textbook, everything you see this and you always expect this to be there. No. Okay. This can take several other shapes. This can be something like this with center O. Or this can be something like this. We don't know. This can be something like this. Or this can be something like this. Okay. Angle subtended at the center. If this is 2x, then what is x? Either this or this. Yes, this is x. Angle subtended at the center is twice the angle subtended at the circumference. Angle subtended at the center is twice the angle subtended at the circumference. Angle subtended at the center is twice the angle subtended at the circumference. Angle subtended at the center is twice the angle subtended at the circumference. Clear? You all have always seen this and always looking for this. No. The theory, angle subtended at the center is twice the angle subtended at the circumference. That is the theory. Now we'll go for the answer because it's a direct theory. So here, what we have is angle subtended at the center is twice the angle subtended at what? The circumference. That means ABC is what? 120 degrees, half of that. The next thing they want is us to find is ADC. To find ADC, what do I want? I need this angle. If this is 120, the total is 360. Then this is what? 120 degrees. If that is 120, angle subtended at the center is twice the angle subtended at what? The circumference. ADC is 60 degrees. ABC is 120, ADC is 60. The same thing you apply for the top and the bottom, both. But you know, around the center, always the angle is how much? 360. 360, 240 minus 360 is 120. So you can take it to the top and bottom. That's it. Keep it simple. We'll go for the next. Check one. Okay. So the next one we have is of graphs. Okay. So when we talk about graphs, we have two types. One is the linear graph and the parabola graph. The linear graphs are all of the form y equals mx plus c. Parabola graphs, we have several. Y equals ax squared, y equals, ax squared plus b, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, y equals a x squared plus b plus or minus c. Next one, y equals plus or minus x plus a, x plus or minus b. This is a type, but all these three are the same, but different types of representing. Clear? Here, up to now, I won't say it will be the same, up to now, the part 1A question, that means the question we are doing, the one question is always from what? Linear graphs. The part 2, A question, there's one question which gives you 5 marks out of 100. It's always has been from what? The parabola graph. That is how this also comes. The linear graph question is always in the part 1A, up to now. And the parabola graph question is in the part 2A, 5. So this section has almost 6 out of 100 marks in your exam paper. This is for linear and parabola. So here, now we are looking specifically into linear graph. So when we are looking at linear, there are two types of questions that we get in the part 1A. The first type is when the intercept and one point is given. The second type is when 2 points are given how do you find the equation? The first type is when an intercept and a point is given, how do you find the equation? The second type is when two points are given on a linear or a Cartesian plane, how do you find the equation of the graph? This further gets divided into two. Normally, up to a certain year, they normally gave 2 points like this 2, 1 or 3, 5. Later, since they wanted to make this question a little more innovative and advanced, they did not give the points directly. What did they do? They drew a graph. You have to find the 2 points. You have to find the coordinates here, x, y, and here, x, y. And then you have to substitute all and find the equation. Clear? There are two types where the intercept and a coordinate is given and 2 points are given. Even these 2-point types is now divided into two as where they directly give the 2 points or they give the graph. You have to identify the 2 points and then do the question. That is how the questions have been. Okay. So now we'll check the question we have for today. So here, the question is to find the gradient and the intercept. I have 2 points. Whenever you get 2 points, the first thing you need to do is you name the 2 points. First one is, the first one is 0, 2, which is x1, y1. The next one, 5, 2, x2 and y2. We know and we have studied an equation to find the gradient. Gradient equals, I think I might not have space here. I'll go to this thing. 0 to 5, 2. To find the gradient, when 2 points are given, we know a certain equation that we derived. That is, the gradient equals y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. If you have y1 first, here should be x1. If you have y2 first, here it should be x2. These two should come from the same, the one on the top and the bottom should come from the same point. One on the top and the bottom should come from the same point. Keep that in mind. So now we'll substitute the values. First one, y1 is 2, y2 is 2. x1 is 0, x2 is 5. 0 divided by minus 5, gradient is 0. If the gradient is 0, that means what? It is either going to be parallel to one of the axes. Okay. Next one, to find the intercept. What do we do? I will substitute in one of the equations. Y equals mx plus C. Before going for that, I need to choose an equation. Which am I going to use? I am going to take this. So what is the value of y here? Y is 2. Gradient is 0. X is 5. Plus C. 2 equals 0 plus C. Intercept is plus 2. Gradient is 0. Intercept is plus 2. Gradient is 0 and the intercept is plus 2. These are the answers for the question. Clear? Okay. Now we'll go for the next question. Probability. So we know in probability, you will have one question. You will have one question in part 1A and you have one question in part 1B. As a structured essay, that is how the section comes. Okay. The digits 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4 have been written on 6 sides of a balanced die. Find the probability of a side with a prime number. I think I need to go to the whiteboard. Prime number. What are prime numbers? Numbers that are divisible by 1 and the number itself. Numbers that are divisible by 1 and the number itself. Numbers that are divisible by 1 and the number itself. Numbers that are divisible by 1 and the number itself. The numbers which are not prime numbers, 4. It can be divided by 1, 2, and 4. 6. This can be divided by 1, 2, 3, and 6. 8. It can be divided by 1, 2, 4, and 8. 9. This can be divided by 1, 3, and 9. Prime numbers are in orange. The other numbers are in red. So prime numbers are numbers. Prime numbers are numbers where they are divisible by 1 and the number itself. 1 and the number itself. It has only 2 factors. It has only 2 numbers which can divide them without any remainders. No remainders. Factors means no remainders. It divides them nicely. No remainders. So numbers which are not prime numbers are called composite numbers. The numbers which are not prime numbers are called composite numbers. So according to this, the smallest prime number is what? Smallest prime number is 2. And the smallest composite number is 4. So then, what is 1? What is 1? Remember, 1 is not a prime nor a composite number. 1 is not a prime, not a composite. 1 doesn't come under anything. Because 1 doesn't divide by 1 and itself. No, it's the same. No 2 factors. To become a composite number, you should have more than 2 factors. 1 has only 1. That is the issue. So 1 is not a prime nor a composite. Smallest prime number is 2. Smallest composite number is 4. Keep that in mind. Now we'll go for the question. So here, the digits 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4 have been written on the 6 sides of a balanced die. Find the probability of the side with prime number. Okay. So first, we'll find what are the prime numbers first. That's the most important thing. No? So we'll call it set A. Prime numbers are 2, 2, 3, 3. Number of elements in set A equals 4. Number of elements total that is available total outcome is 6. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then what is the probability? Probability of A equals number of events or elements in the event divided by number of total elements in the event. So here 4 over 6, answer is 2/3. Four over 6, the answer is 2/3. So out of 6 possibilities, 4 can be prime numbers. That's it. So if we divide out of 3 possibilities, there are two possibilities that you can get what? A prime number. So here, the points P, Q, R, S lie on the circle with center O. The side SR has been produced to T and POM is a straight line. POM is a straight line. Okay, POM is a straight line means what? It comes to the center. Okay. Find the value of Y according to the information given in the figure. Okay, that's it. For this, we need to know few theories. Theory number 1. The first one, when we have a circle with center O, okay, that is there. What do is, we draw a chord. A chord means what? Any line which touches the circumference of a circle. Okay, you have numerous number of chords. The longest chord is the diameter. Clear? The longest chord is the chord that goes through the center that we call the diameter. So here, what we do is, I will name this A and B. Okay. What do is, I will measure the length and mark a point at the center. This can be X. If that's the center, what does it mean? These two are equal. I hope you can see the color. Okay. If that's the center, these two are equal. What does the theory say is, when the midpoint of a chord is connected with the midpoint of the circle, when the midpoint of a chord is connected with the midpoint of the circle, this line will be what? Perpendicular to each other. Clear? When the midpoint of a chord is connected to the midpoint of a circle, it will be perpendicular. That is the theory. So I will write the theory here. O is the center of the circle. AB is a chord. X is the midpoint of AB. When all these are there, then what do they say? If all these are applicable, then OX is perpendicular to AB. These are the data. This is the theory. O is the center of a circle. AB is a chord. X is the midpoint of AB. Then OX is perpendicular to what? AB. When the midpoint of a chord is connected with the midpoint of a circle, those will be what? Perpendicular. theory number 1. Theory number 2. Here what we have is, it's a very simple thing, you all know, but I'm bringing back to your memory. When we have a triangle, and let the internal angles be A, B, and C. What we know is angle A plus B plus C is 180 degrees. Now this is simple. Did you know? Because you are learning from grade 6. But what if you get a quadrilateral, a pentagon, a hexagon, a heptagon, a octagon, a nonagon, a decagon? When the number of sides increase, what happens? Last week, I taught you an formula. When the number of sides increase, you use this. 2n minus 4 into 90 degrees. So here, the number of sides is what? 3. 2 into 3, 6. 6 minus 4, 2. 2 into 90, 180. Likewise, you can find for any number of sides in a polygon. Whether it's a quadrilateral, whether it's a pentagon, whether it's a hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nonagon, decagon, whatever, you can find it. Okay? The theory number 3 that you need for this question. When we have a circle with center O, and when you have a quadrilateral where all the 4 sides sit at what? The circumference of the circle. 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 When all the 4 vertices sit on the circumference of the circle, we call it a cyclic quadrilateral. When all the 4 corners or vertices of a quadrilateral touches the circle, we call it a cyclic quadrilateral. Oopsie doopsie. I need this to be removed, sorry. Okay. So here, in a cyclic quadrilateral, what we say is the external angle is equal to the what? The external angle is equal to the internal opposite angle. If this is theta, then this is also what? Theta. In a cyclic quadrilateral, the external angle is equal to its internal opposite angle. The external angle is equal to its internal opposite angle. The external angle is equal to its internal opposite angle. Clear? In a cyclic quadrilateral, the external angle is equal to its internal opposite angle. Keep that in mind. In a triangle, you remember, the external angle is equal to sum of the opposite angles. Here it's not the case. External angle is equal to the internal opposite angle. External angle is equal to the internal opposite. External angle is equal to the internal opposite. Now we'll go for the question. Okay, here, now what they say is, this is the external angle, 80 degrees. External angle here, P, Q, R, S. What that happen? They sit on the circle. Therefore, what can I say? PQRS is a cyclic quadrilateral. PQRS is a cyclic quadrilateral. If PQRS is a cyclic quadrilateral, if this is 80, the external angle is equals to the opposite angle. This entire thing is what? 80 degrees. If that is 80, that entire thing is 80. I need to find the value of y. What I'm missing is this angle. Okay? According to the first theory that we studied, what did we study? The line connecting the center of the circle to the midpoint of a chord. The line connecting the center of a circle to the midpoint of a chord is what? Perpendicular. If that is perpendicular by the triangle PSM, by the triangle PSM, this is the triangle. Total internal angle of the triangle PSM, this is what? Total internal angle is 180 degrees. 90 plus 55 is 145. Then this angle is how much? 180 minus 145 is 35 degrees. Then what can you say? Y plus 35 equals 80 degrees. Y equals 80 minus 35. Y equals how much? 45. Is it clear? The first theory we used is, because PQR is a cyclic quadrilateral, if this is 80, then this entire angle is what? 80. I have to find y. For that, I need this angle. To find that angle, I have this to find. This 55, I know. So I need this. That's why they gave this and this are equal, and this comes through the center. Then I know the line connecting the center of a circle to the center of a chord is what? Perpendicular. If that is perpendicular, that is a triangle. Total internal angle is 180 degrees. If the total is 180 with 90, with 55, with the unknown, I can find the unknown. Unknown is 35. Y plus 35 is 80. I have already know. So y is 45 degrees. Keep it simple. Done. The next one. Question number 23. Here. the arc length of sectors of the shown in figure A and figure B are equal. Now, whenever you get a question, start with where they stop. What did they say? They said arc length of A and B are equal. So you write arc length of A is equals to the arc length of what? B. Where they stop, you start. Arc length of A and B are equal. Now, how do you find the arc length? Now, these are arcs. 2 pi r, radius is capital R, into theta over 360. That is the arc length of A. The second one, 2 pi simple r into theta dash over 360. Why do I put theta dash? Here it's 45, here it's 90. I can't put theta for both. It's logically wrong. So that's why I put theta and theta dash. Clear? Now what do? I will cut whatever I can cut. 360, 360, cut. 2 pi, cut. This is the advantage when you get everything on one line. Whatever you don't want, you can cut it and remove it. Why do you want the things that you don't need? The next one. Capital R theta equals simple R theta dash. Capital R is what do I have to find? Theta is what? 45 degrees. Simple R is 7. Theta is what? 90 degrees. Again, I can cut 45, 90, cut 2. Then what is the capital R? 7 multiplied by 2. Capital R is 14 centimeters. Keep this simple. How do you keep it simple? You start with where they stop. They have said arc length of A and B are equal. When they said arc length of A and B are equal, you write it. And then you do the question. Where they stop, you start. That is the easiest way. The next one. Question number 24, matrices. So addition of matrices is very easy. There's no complication at all in addition. You just admit here 1 plus 3 is what? 4. Minus 1 plus 4 is 3. 0 plus 1 is 1. 2 plus minus 1 is x. So I will write it. 2 plus minus 1 equals x. I can write it as 2 minus 1 equals x. X equals what? Plus 1. That is the value of x. The next one. 0 minus 1 plus 0 is minus 1. 1 plus y is x. I will write it. 1 plus y equals x. I know x is what? 1. So y equals 1 minus 1. Y equals what? 0. So the two answers are y equals 1, x equals 1 and y equals 0. Addition of matrices is very straightforward. The number at the first point and the first point on the second one is equal to the Answer. 1 plus 3 equals 4. Adding and subtraction is very simple, very straightforward. It is the multiplication which is complicated. So don't worry about that. I'll teach you when we are doing the next year paper. So addition and subtraction is very simple. You just add. That's it. Keep it simple. So construction. The figure shows an incomplete sketch of a construction done to find point P. I have to mark point P, okay? I can't just do everything and without marking I can't go. I have to mark point P, which is 5 centimeters from the straight line AB. Because it is 5 centimeters from the line AB only, they have drawn this. That means my P can be here, 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 or here. Now I have to find which is P. Because they said AB, from AB, P should be at 5 centimeters. All these places, P can be there. I have to specifically find what is P. Now I'll check what is the second data. Line and equidistance from A and B. The distance, when the P is here, the distance from this and the distance from this should be what? Equal. How do you find a point? That means this has 2. That means we have 4 main types. The first one is one fixed point. I'll go for this thing, sorry. The first one fixed point at constant distance. That means one fixed point moving at a constant distance. This is drawn by a circle. Second one, 2 fixed points traveling at equal distance. The first one is one fixed point at constant distance. Second one is 2 fixed points at equal distance. Third one line, the point traveling at constant distance. The fourth one is 2 lines and the point traveling at equal distance. So this question has one line traveling at constant distance, which is a parallel line, and 2 fixed points traveling at equal distance, which is what? A perpendicular bisector. Both are connected. Now we'll go for the question. So here, I know when they said it's parallel, it should be anywhere on P. Next one, it should be equal distance from A and B. 2 fixed points at equal distance. That means how can I mark the point? That means the line which the point moves through a perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector. It should be perpendicular and it should bisect the line. What do I do? Now, for these questions, you don't bring the compass. What do you have to do? With the knowledge you have to do. I will keep the compass something like this. We'll say this is the midpoint. Assuming, now when I see, I know where the midpoint should be. By keeping the compass a little further, I will cut a line like this. Bringing the same distance to B, I will cut a line like this. That is the first step. Little further than the midpoint. I will keep the compass here, little further than the midpoint. I'll just cut. I don't know where the midpoint is. I assume the midpoint is here. I can see now which is more than the midpoint. Then I come to B. I will cut the same length here. That is the first thing I will do. I don't know where the midpoint is. The next step is I will keep the compass here. I will take the any length. That's totally fine. I will just cut a line like this. Again, when I cut from here, the compass, I keep the compass like this and just cut like this. From here, I will just cut. From here, I'll just cut. Again, the same distance, I keep it here and cut it here. Okay. First, I will mark these two lines and then I cut and cut. On the bottom also, I will cut these two like this. Sorry, it didn't align properly because I'm not. You just cut like this. Then what you do is you connect these 2 points with a straight line. You just connect these 2 lines. When you connect, this line will be perpendicular to AB and it bisects the line properly. This is the midpoint. And where it touches the line which is on the top, where it touches the line which is at the top, this is what? The point B. Correct, no? P is 5 centimeters above AB and P is at equidistance. If this is X, then this is also what? X. You don't have to mark it, it's just for reference. P is at equal distance from A and B and 5 centimeters from the line AB. And you mark. The first thing you need to identify is P is on this line because they say 5 centimeters and they have marked 5 centimeters. You don't have to use a compass. You just knowledge from here, more than half you cut. Again from here with the same compass, you cut it here. Then you keep it here. You can change it. Cut here, cut here, cut here, cut here from both tops. You connect it and wherever this point goes through the line on the top, that's P. Clear? Okay. So now we have completed the entire 2020 what? Paper. So I know it's a long almost 2 hours maybe. I know it has been a long 2 hours and with a tiring day today. But anyway, I hope you all had a good long weekend. Okay. I hope you all had a good long weekend. So nothing to complain here. So we have done, according to where we started, 5 questions of circle geometry, 5 questions of triangle geometry, 3 of circle geometry, 2 of algebraic function, 2 of measurements, likewise this goes on. Okay. The standard is a little bit different, but here there has been more attention given to triangle geometry than the others. Okay, fine. But this is how the paper is. That is easy, man. Don't get scared for the paper. What I would say is, before the next session, that means 2020 paper is done. So we'll hop on to 2019 O-level the next week. Okay. So before the 2019 do the paper, at least try the paper once or twice at home. Okay. So when I'm explaining, you understand what is necessary. Okay. Else everything will be new for you. Okay. And what I would say is, at this time, don't time yourself. Okay. Still, when you time yourself now, the issue is when you don't know something, you just consider it as out of syllabus. No, it's not that. First, you need to build the confidence in yourself that all these questions are from the paper. Clear? The most important thing is, first you need to develop the confidence that you can handle the paper, that you can answer the entire paper. Even when the book is given, yes, I'm capable, I'm confident of answering the paper. That's the confidence that you need first. Clear? So open the book, open the tudes, and answer the papers. No ChatGPT, because most of the parents have told, now when a question is hard, you just put to ChatGPT and get the answer. Likewise, you will never learn, kids. You need to understand there's a bright future waiting for you. Don't ruin it. Okay? ChatGPT is not going to help in the future. That means when you're answering papers, it's not going to help because everyone is capable of handling that, no? You have to be somewhat different. So what do is open the books, open the tudes, turn the pages, while looking at the notes, looking at the questions that is done in the class. When you get a similar question, answer it. Don't go for the direct answer also. If the same question is done at class, not the direct answer. You go for the theory. Understand the theory and answer. So without you knowing, so we are planning to do at least 12 to 15 past papers, okay? So without knowing it, when you answer the past papers every time, you have read the same theory 12 to 15 times. So there's no necessary for you to learn it before the exam. Why? Every day you have gone through it once or twice. Every time you have gone through it once or twice. So you don't have to learn it again, kids. Eventually that will be in your mind. Okay? The picture memory is bigger than what you memorize. Clear? What you see, you keep in mind for a long time. So keep that in mind. So what I would say is, do the papers before the session. Open the book and do. Allocate 2 or 3 hours because Sundays most of y'all are free. Some of y'all have classes, some don't. So allocate some time and do the papers before you come to the class. So when you come here and when you see in the session, so you can go through and you will understand what you didn't, when you didn't find something, you know where it was or how to connect it. What are the theories? Those are in connection. So keep it simple. This you do not for O levels. You're preparing yourself to do the A levels well. O level is just an examination for you to get into A level. O level is not going to decide the profession you are going to handle. Just because you get a 9 A's in O levels, that doesn't ensure that you get into universities. No, no. Okay. So you have to do your A levels properly. So now it's the time where you train yourself. All this time you didn't train yourself. Now it's the time where you train yourself to take over the A levels well. Okay. So you trial and error. That means you do something, and if it doesn't work, you drop it. You to go to next step. When you do, if it works well, you carry on. So now it's the time you learn. You don't learn it before the exam. Okay. Now is the time you learn. You have 5 to 6 months leisurely. Do it properly, and don't stress yourself, and don't overdo things. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the time with your friends, enjoy the school time. This is the best time in school. This time in school you will collect more and more memories. And those memories are the memories that you will cherish for the entire lifetime. Not A levels also, yes, because you are going to be in school. Not university life, not work life, nothing. You are just there because everyone is of the same mentality. Here, no, people of the different mentality, different backgrounds. There's a diversity. You have to enjoy. You have to collect as much as memories and collect and cherish every moment that you spend in school, spend in classes, spend with your friends. That is the most important thing. Okay? Don't take it as a burden. Enjoy the journey. That's all I would say. And you have 5 to 6 months. That is more than enough. Just plan it. Now itself, have a plan of how you are going to take over the examination. Okay? Now, if you have a plan, it's easy for you to take over the examination properly. Clear? Plan it properly and do it well. So all the very best. And I'll catch you up in another week's time with the 2019 O-level paper. Until that, have a great time. And at the meantime, work well and work smart. No ChatGPT. Clear? Okay. Have a great night, kids, and have a great week ahead. Good night.